Tactical genius, he's the one to see on VP4TV. He's wild and he's free. Eyeball top over here to you and me. With his cunning moves, he's rocking endlessly. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tables and cues, they bend to his will. Every shot he takes gives everyone a thrill. With a glance and aim, he works to the skill. In the ball, lights from the chill. Tactical genius with every play, making magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. From the corner bank to the perfect cut, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper. Magic happen every single day. In the world of billiards, he knows the way, taking every shot with prayers we say. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. Rack him up, he steps to the ground. Crowds gather round without a sound. With a twisted stroke, his fame is profound. Every victory makes our hearts pound. To the perfect cup, he wins the game without a single strut. Chalk it up, just for fortune or luck. But skill like his, it never gets stuck. On VP4TV, he's the showstopper. 9ball.com's the king, no one can top her. Watch him play and you'll be a hopper. He's the man, we all shout proper.
Where's the cue ball going?
Oh dear, how sad, never mind.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Yes, I'm muted, and I'll explain what I was explaining there when I was muted. My XSplit, no, it's not. It's not me being a numpty this time. I was well aware I was muted, and the reason I was well aware is that I've loaded XSplit. I've tried to add a few things to it, which may well have saved, but the problem is it's bugged out, and my shortcut keys that I've got in and saved in XSplit have all decided not to operate. This is a bug that's happened before, and the way to fix it is to do a restart on XSplit, which I won't be doing because we've just started the stream. As you can see, one of the things I added was top left of the HUD. We have the current tournament high run, which is 121. What I'd also put in next to the player's name at the bottom of the screen was the each player's personal high run in Virtual Pool 4. Now, there's one thing, or maybe a couple of things to probably point out here. First of all, Acero's high run in Virtual Pool 4 is 77, which I'm going to hedge my bets and say he actually did that in last year's tournament. However, last year's tournament was on narrow pockets, and this will be the first tournament that I can recall where he's maybe he played in one previously, I don't know, but this will be his chance to shine and aim for a target somewhere above his present high run, which is, as I said, 77. Miasma, his high run is 27, probably on normal pockets as well, and probably down to the fact that, like me, he very rarely, if ever, has played straight pool. Was it normal pockets? Are you sure? I thought it was narrow pockets. What one was it? The one previous to that then? Maybe I'm getting confused. But anyway, Acero has a high run of 77. Now, in that respect, then he's going to have to better that during this tournament, which will give him a chance of defending his title. But the one other thing that can win you this is consistency. Is scoring at the right time, scoring a good rate of points at the right time, and then ducking and diving at the right time. So we've got a problem up table with the 7 ball, but there are balls there at the moment that would allow you to break that out, but you've got to do it carefully here, I think. Let me have a look and get this cue stick out of the way. We've got potential break balls there. Again, looking at this, the triangle, the pink is a pretty good break ball. It's at the head of the pack though. 9 ball would have passed as one, but this is where he has to get the bump off this pink 12 ball, I think it is, and just open these up a little bit. And now he's good to go. So we have this match at the moment, and there is another match which I will be able to get at tea time this afternoon. I think it's 5 p.m. it starts, so I'm going to have to go and get my dinner, because I don't intend to get my dinner after the match is finished, because it again could last at least 2 hours, and having something to eat that late at night before I go to bed is not a good idea. So we're getting to the critical point, as you do in every rack, getting good on the break ball. So he's going to go into the side pocket, which is a wee bit more unconventional, but it will work. Well, who are you next to play, Cobra? Because I haven't looked at the bracket. Oh, Cheeky Chico, he sort of comes and goes. Again, I don't know whether he really pays a great deal of attention to incoming messages and whether he's getting them forwarded. So he's very rarely online, and if he's not online and going to his profile, if he's not got that configured up for his emails, then he won't be getting a reply because he won't know he's getting them. But we're just assuming that the guy's not a complete numpty and he isn't aware of that setup. Let me just try something else. Yeah, these shortkey buttons won't work at all, and the replay won't work either, I'm assuming. Let me just test that, because if everything else isn't working, the replay won't work. Yeah, that's dead and buried as well, but it should fix itself, hopefully, after the shutdown and restart later on this afternoon. So this, of course, is a race to 200 on the winner's side. So there's a long way to go, but Acero has already got a decent little start. And again, now that he's thinned out most of the pack, you're looking to where the break ball is going to be. It won't be the 7 ball. It's in the triangle. And it could be any one of those 3 balls on this left side. It could also even be the 6 ball, but I think I might be playing that right now. Again, for people who have watched my streams before, I tend to do an awful lot of more moving about with the camera when I'm doing straight pull, especially looking at the pack. So if that annoys you, then I would switch off now, because it's going to be happening. We're going to be looking at the stack, looking for combos, anything like that, little billiards, anything to make a pot. When it comes down to it, well, this looks good. He just needs to get that line off that 9 ball. Acero's played in the straight pool before. I think that's what you mean. So here we go. Another critical shot. The run is 28. And this is always a make or break shot. Well, he didn't go full pelt. It was a controlled break. But he's going to have to cut that 3 ball, I think. That looks like, in fact, that I don't think he can get it. It's going to be the 8 ball. He can get to the 8 ball and cut that. I don't think he wants to try and do anything spectacular this side. What's he doing? Is he playing the 8? Yes, he is. He's looking at the cut angle in the 8. I'm sure he can get to it. So Chico does know about proposals then. All right. Oh, he obviously just doesn't want to respond to you then. Well, what's he called here? Has he spotted something else? Well, that could get pushed further to the point if he's going to call that one. He's calling whatever ball it is. No, it's been pushed the other way and got in. That was well done. And now he's got a start. We've got one other issue, which is clearly those two there. And they're not a combo, but there are, again, loads of balls adjacent to it to get a little bump, just a little nudge. Well, it was well spotted because I wasn't looking at the pack from that side, and it looked as if you got it the wrong way. It would have pushed it onto the jaw, but hit it perfect, and it got pushed into the centre of the pocket. Well, now there does come a point where you have to be, proactive to get this 5 and 3 nudged out one way or another. Now, I'm not sure what he was doing here. You obviously get balls up the table, but this is the bit that concerns you. The longer that you go on potting balls and not dealing with this issue. Well, it is still morning here. Good morning to Chris Goes Live, or Chris Plays Live, sorry. So a brush off the 6 ball maybe here, and that could add just more problems to the situation. Well, the 6 is nudged and loosened him slightly, and that 14 ball, you would expect it to loosen him even more. Well, he wasn't planning on that, but he's got the bailout ball. But really, I think you've got to really get this order right here, especially now with the 8 and 5 in an outward line that they're sitting. Again, they're not anywhere near a dead set combo, those two. And he's bolt straight in the 3. So now the little angle will get the nudge. So that's all the issues having been dealt with. Would you still stream on Twitch at times? No. I'm done with Twitch. The reason I say that is because I want to focus on getting whatever subscribers I can solely on the one channel. And I don't want to have multiple streaming anymore. But the other reason is also because I'm going to stop using Restream. I'm not going to renew my subscription there. So the run goes to 41, and he's going from the back of the pack. Now, this is always dangerous. And it's always dangerous because that cue ball can easily scratch off the back of the pack. You've just no real guarantee you're going to come out of that clean, but he has done. Welcome to Coldest Pillow. Well, you need to have that time. Well, he's the current champion at the moment. I wouldn't say he's the king, but he's the current champion, and they can't take that away from him. No, you don't have to be thinking about a shot and lining up a shot, and maybe there's something that's tough to make a decision on, and then suddenly the clock's beeping. You don't need that pressure with the shot clock. Oh, Dwight is still here. He still plays. He's decided to give up in normal sane games and decided to play three cushion. He's gone mental. It must be a time in his life that he's suddenly lost a screw and decided three cushions a game for him. And speak of the devil, there he is. Good morning to Dwight. And meanwhile, Acero on a run of 48. And, well, he's got a target straight away here, and that target's to beat his current high run. And he's looking good at the moment, but as you know, in straight pool, anything can go wrong at any time. You can never, ever take anything for granted. Even in a wide open table where all the balls have got pockets, you can nail yourself to one of them and you've no shot. So, what would be the candidate for the break ball? Well, the three ball would do it. It's at the back of the pack, but it's you would certainly get a good chunk of the triangle if you did. You could use the pink 12. It's a bit further away, but sort of mid-range in the pack. So there's two options here, and depending on how he finishes on this last ball, or the second last ball, the penultimate ball, will depend on how good he's going to be on said break ball, whichever one that might be. So he's checked the cue ball up big time. This is perfect. I mean, he can just run through square or parallel with that three ball. In fact, he's going inside a little bit, but that should still be fine. So again, critical stage. 56 is the run. Oh, that cue ball's threatening to die. It's threatening to die. Well, he's got a bailout, but whatever bailout you choose, they are fiddly, both of them. And this needs to cut more than he probably thinks, this one ball. And that's well done. So, had to play the little recovery shot straight away. Now this one here, with this 11 ball, he could end up getting into the stack again, but I think he wants to jack up and dig into this 8 ball and get some bumping and grinding going. Well, he's just bumped to 1 ball. He's still got a shot, but these are troublesome because something has to be done almost instantaneously here to get this run to progress. He's gone a bit too straight on the 11 and he's running out of options unless there's something in that stack of balls. Yes, if you were desperate and you're over here, you'd play the 5-6 combo. He's coming around the back. So the 15 ball will be next. But he needs to get that angle. He needs to get some sort of hit. And he's leaving it square. In fact, he could have done with obviously going a bit more comfortable in this, but there's no doubt he's going to open ball. So this is the one that's going to probably decide whether he gets his high run here and now or breaks his high run. We'll tell a lie, he's going to need another rack, isn't he? He's going to need another rack of balls. Welcome to Mark's chat. That's a rarity. I didn't know if Mark had ever been in the stream before. But obviously this is at a more convenient time for him. You're welcome. So, well, you can play the big stun. It's a bit too straight, this 14 ball, but you can play the big stun and get the cue ball out and play the 5. Well, he's played a bit of stun draw. That's going to run loose. Yeah, he's gone too far. Now he's going to have to do it from the rail, I think. That 12 ball is way too tight. It is very tight. It's got room. And he's got a little nudge. Now, what about these two? Because there's the other last remaining problem. If he can cut the 7 and get this little bump, he'll be good to go. And he's got the little bump. He has a break ball. In fact, he's got a choice of break balls here. This is now in a perfect setup to keep going. Well, I think this is a very good, solid start for Acero. Well, he's sort of gone in between here. Now he just has to get the weight right. That's perfect. That is perfect. Couldn't have played it any better. Cue balls staying in the table. And straight on the 9. Not much of an angle to work with, but I think he's just going to nip through the back, because that's where you can do a little bit more loosening up here off this 7. Send that 14 into the 2 and 6. 6 ball's going to run up to the 5 by the look of it. And it looks as if he's not taking them on. Now he's gone away. I don't know what he was playing for here. I'm not really certain. I mean, the 8 balls come into play, but I'm not quite sure what he was actually trying. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's overcut it. Oh, I thought that was going to hang up. Run is 74. High run for the tournament, 121, which is held at the moment by MC_Clarkey. We've also got another century high run, which I can't remember who made it because my memory's so bad. Because he's got an underscore in his name, and I say it just to annoy people like you. That's why. It's MC_Clarkey. That's his name. I like to pronounce the underscore. If you've got a problem with that, contact support and get Steve to delete it and edit it out his name. Right, I'm getting distracted here. Well, Acero didn't take long to beat his high running straight pull. He's done it right off the bat. It now goes to 79 and counting. Well, the other day when the other person who was it? Was it Interchange X? It was Interchange X, I think, has got a century run, has he? Who the hell made the second century run? Anyway, I jinxed them when I said that the high run's about to go, because within 2 or 3 shots they'd nailed himself to a ball and that was it. So I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Yeah, it was Interchange X. Yeah, I'm saying nothing. I'm keeping stum, as they say. So as obviously going to have to be a break ball at the back of the pack here. Unless he gets exceptionally good on this 10 ball in the middle of the table. But I'd be very surprised. See, this is going to be tricky. I'll tell you that right now. He's gone too far. He's gone too far, so now he's going to have to dig in to control the cue ball. And then, of course, he has to fit into that spot, and this looks pretty good. That's very well played. Very well controlled. Now, again, it's dangerous off the back of the pack. I don't care who you are. We've seen this multitudes of times with the cue ball banking across off that rail and going into that pocket. But he's got out of it good. Run goes to 85, and he's got plenty of shot choices on. But again, he's got one little bit of, well, two little bit of problems here. Just there and there, those sets there are an issue because this 15 ball is sort of isolated in no man's land in there. So he's got to think ahead. $109 intermade. There you go. Well, it's also good for acero to let just to let those guys who fancy pinching his title, let them know that he knows what he's doing and he can put a score on the board. And there's no better time to do that than straight out the starting blocks. So now we've got a little triangle of 3 balls, and I don't think any of them go. No, this is going to, again, just become a worry the longer you leave them sitting there. Yeah, well, he's taking the 10 ball and he's coming around and away from the 3 balls. Again, he would have liked to have just travelled that bit further on the 15 so he could get a nudge, but he's the wrong side of it. And all the time, of course, he's running out of balls to get there. Well, he can do it now. I'm pretty certain he could do it now if he nudged in the 13. And just a little stunny soft draw shot for a nudge. But maybe he's trying to get better to be able to do it. Well, the alarm bells are ringing for me, and he's looking to get it this time. And the problem is you don't want to stick on a ball. And he's in between shots, so he's got to pick out a pot. Can he get to that 8 ball? I think he can. Oh, it's tight. But anyway, I don't think he's that comfortable on it, or he thinks the 3 ball will be better for him in the long run. So this 4 ball right at the head of the pack, and the 12 ball in the triangle. So there's 2 potential break balls, really. They're the favourites. This one probably lesser so. But again, we get to the critical point in the rack where it's even more exacting you have to be on getting that penultimate ball and getting onto that break ball. You've got to always get these in the right order. Yeah, he's going to need another rack to break the turn. Well, it could be just a straight stun back here for the 12 in the same pocket, or he could go through for the 12 into the side. Well, this needs to run. Yeah, he needs to run. Well, again, he's fine in terms of getting on the break ball. All about the pace and how much he's coming off the rail. Doesn't want to go any further than that. Well, he's got an angle. He could have done with a bit more though. Cue ball's coming loose. There's a shot on.
Where's the cue ball going?
I thought I'd introduce you to JV. Well, dead straight in the 14. He's got the pink 12, I think that is, and can go through and get something at the back of the stack there. Now, well, you can hit that and go into them. You can hit that and stun into them. You could even try and cut back the 7 and get a chipper onto them. Oh, it's running
Where's
loose.
the cue ball going?
Oh dear, panic stations there. The run goes to 101. Well, he's okay. That's giving him a wee bit more looseness. That's a reasonably set combo if he needs it. It just looks as if it's going to the knuckle, but there is a little gap between the two of them. Only if needs be would you play that as a combo. The chances are it may well be getting nudged, although I'm not sure that. I mean, this could be the break ball. It's fairly tight to the pack. I think the chances are there's going to be a bump here, one way or another. It could potentially be the 2 ball as a break ball, but that's not really yet decided, I don't think. And the reason it's not decided is because of what's happening here. Has he seen that that's pretty much a combo, or is he going to try and get a nudge? Well, he may well be playing for the combo. Yeah, he's not really giving me the impression that he's looking at it. Well, I presume he has. See, I'm just convinced it's going to the knuckle, that 6 ball. It might get in left side of the pocket, but he's now short side of the 2 balls, so that'll deal with that situation. And he's finished a bit straight in the 6 because I think he would have liked to have nudged that 15 out of the way. So now he's pretty much committed with the fact that the 15's in the pack. It's probably going to be the 2 ball. The run goes to 110. And now the vital part again arises. The vital sequence. And you don't want to be stuck to the rail like that. So now he's going to probably have to try and run around the back end of this 2 and miss the 2. And that's perfect again. Absolutely spot on. And now the high run is under threat. And the cue balls come right down the table. Loads of options available. Easy enough to pot the 4 and hold and get rid of one of these balls here if he plans it that way. Or you could pot one of these and come around the back end. So there's nothing here needs bumping. This is all about just plotting your way out. He's already got 1, if not 2 break balls sitting there. So this is a very good setup to progress this rack and keep the run going. Nothing needs touching, because when you start bumping balls in this situation, you can end up creating a cluster that you don't necessarily, or you didn't necessarily have in the first place. So this is where you've got to be careful. Well, the high run at the moment is the top left-hand corner of your screen. That's the high run for the tournament. Remember, the clues are there. Well, he's got a nudge now. What did I say about nudging balls that you don't need to nudge? He's now created an issue. And that, well, it might end up in a potential big mistake, depending on how this rack shapes up. But that's not what he wanted to do. And these aren't going anywhere, these 2 balls. They are going to need separating one way or another. So now it's vital that he gets these remaining balls in the right sequence. He's got half a pocket here for this 3-ball. And now he can get, well, he's gone a wee bit more straight, but he's got enough angle to get a little brush. Oh, now I think he's fine. But again, has to get rid of the 15, and that'll open up the 2 balls into the corner. Now, where are we committed for the break shot? Again, this could be the favourite now. The 12 ball, 14's in the triangle. 11 ball's a little wide, although if you were inside it, you could deal with the 11 ball. But I think that he's more or less set his heart on maybe the 12 at a push the 9 ball. He's still got those options there. So he's in very good shape. And the high run for the tournament is gone. It's 122. Well, it's a bit far away, but there's always a potential, and we've never seen it yet, of a whitewash here. And Cobra's beginning to panic because I can hear his butt clenching in the seat, even though he's pretending he isn't panicking. He's broke out into cold beads of sweat. His sphincter is tightened up. And he's realising that there's a potential problem here. This needs to keep running. This needs to keep going. Well, again, he's just got there. Why? Because I'm trying to wind you up, that's why. Well, he's still got a shot, but these have not broken well at all because he was, too straight on that break ball. Now, is he going to do anything crazy here? No, just trying to get out into the table. Well, he could do something crazy now. He could take the 6 and go for a hit. But he needs unless there's something in that stack of balls, he's going to have to be aggressive here. And again, this is dangerous. This could scratch off the 1 ball. You never know. Well, he's caught something, and he's on the 8. And he's got a little dinky angle here where he can just nudge those other 2 balls next to it and just free them, even though I think the 3 ball's a dead set combo. Yeah, 3 balls absolutely stone dead, but that won't matter. Oh, that's not... Well, I'm not sure whether he tried to come out of there clean altogether, but he's just nudged the 7 out of line. And that's not gone according to plan, probably. And I'll tell you why. Because he's nothing else to bail out on. He's got nothing else to bail out on here. He's got the dodgy 10 ball. And that's about it, I think. He's got a dodgy 4. And he's going to have to overcut this 7 to try and make that combo in the 3. And that is it's really touchy. Yeah, that nudge in the 7. Well, this is critical in terms of keeping this run alive. Well, that's what he's chose, but he's looking around and looking around. He's still looking for something else as an alternative here. But he still chose the 3 ball. Well, he's doing the right thing, and he's looking around in case he's missed something, but I don't think he's got any alternative here. Yeah, he's double kissed, hit the 3, he couldn't get the cue ball out of the way, so the run ends on 130. That'll be the missed call, and a brilliant start from Acero, and that is how easy it is to get yourself in trouble. There was a dead set combo. It was just, what ball was it? It was the 8 ball. The 8 ball that he could just paw it, and he tried to just squeeze the cue ball out of the way, the 2 of those balls. He just brushed the 7 and brushed the 7 offline and killed the combo. And that is how simple you can do mistakes that can ruin your run. So that now, and I'll just edit that right now just to annoy people. That will be 130 is now the new high run for the tournament. And a great first visit from Acero. Well, Cobra just jinxed miasma. That was nothing to do with me. Well, at least miasma's got a point in the board. It's not going to be the bagel unless he gives a point back at some point in the rest of this match. Well, Cobra's barely, not Cobra, Acero's barely sat down, but he's back up and at it again. Well, I think while Acero is attempting to tidy up this rack, what we'll do is we will go and have a look at that schedule. And the schedule shows you this match that's on at the moment. We've got the one later this afternoon with Fast Eddie and Miskin. I have no idea how that would go. I would assume Fast Eddie's the favourite. And that goes ahead at 5 o'clock this afternoon, my time, GMT. There's another match, Aussie Mick with... who the hell's that he's playing? Polkabouter it is. That's Friday. And that's at 9 a.m. my time. Well, needless to say, I'll be at work at that time. You'll get Viking against Laser, which is Saturday at... is that 6 p.m? And then there's Shibo and DJ Simon. That's Saturday at 8 p.m. Well, I'll probably be watching football or get my dinner at the time, but certainly that's starting too late for me, that one. 8 o'clock on the Saturday night. So, back to the matter in hand. Right, well, Acero's managed to complete that rack. A little combo to keep this visit going. Right, let's have a quicker look around this stack of balls, see what we have. Clearly there's a problem, but you can certainly take either of those two balls up table, so there isn't necessarily any need to nudge them. But you've obviously got to take the 14 ball first or make a combo from it. Well, he's now created another problem. Again, he's nudging balls that you don't really want to nudge. Yes, they all go up table, but you're working in a tight space here. And, well, what would have been the nominated sort of break ball, that's going to have to go. And he could, if he gets a decent nudge, push one of these into a break shot position. He might have to go to the back of the pack for a break shot. So everything's up in the air at the moment in the continuation of this visit. Well, clearly that's not in the plan. he's thinking about maybe having some sort of angle on one of these pots up the table where he can play a nudge. No, he's decided to play a nudge now. He sent these balls a bit too high. The 7 ball, yeah, I think, well, that's certainly too high. And the 7 ball's not much better. So he's not in the best of shape here. Well, he might just roll through. Let's have a look at the back of this pack. Well, he can't because that 12's in the pack. So it's got to be the 12 ball and probably around the corner, around this end of the 7. No, he's going straight. He's checking it up. It needs to keep going because it's ended up too straight. Well, again, it's too straight. He's got an angle, but difficult to generate enough power usually to get this pack to open up. And that 15's gone safe. He's got a bank, but he has to get the cue ball out of the way of the bank to keep this visit going. Is he trying to? Can he squeeze that in? Well, maybe he can. Maybe he can. That 15 looks as if it's threatening to get in the way to me. Yeah, he's tweaking it a little bit. Yeah, got it. And he's got a shot. That's all you ask for. He's got a shot. So he moves on to 25. The total's 155. So this match, which started 47 minutes ago, looks as if it's not going to be a great deal past the hour, I think, when it concludes. So, is he going to tidy up down this end of the table, or is he going to work in the pack? Looks as if he's going to... Well, he could take the 9 ball next. Nothing to stop him. And that's less of a distraction. See, the less that you've got stuff down the table, unless you plan on leaving the ball that's down here as an easy option to get onto your break ball, then you're far better tidying up all of that stuff down there, because you're then not distracted by working at both ends of the table or having to. Now, is that a combo? Let's have a look. Must be, or very likely. That's what he's chose. Well, that's stone dead to me. Off the jaw every day of the week. He's looking at a slight cut there. I think he's sticking with his initial line here. Yeah, in off the jaw. It was heading there all the time. And a new idea. If we could bet in VP4, I would be making bank. Oh yeah, if you started gambling for real money in here, it would there'd be loads of fallouts. So there would be. Well, Acero so far in this match has had 2 visits. Well, one, and one that is still alive. So the obvious goal here is just to get out and get to bed, because I'm pretty certain it's fairly late at night. Tokyo side. Yeah, I mean, I keep saying this. I am a trustworthy banker, with PayPal. If any two guys want to get it on, all they do is PayPal me their fee, their bet, and I'll hold the bet, and then I'll pay it out to the winner. That's a guaranteed 100%. No, I don't have commission. But as I said, any of you guys get an idea for doing anything like that, just give me a shout. I'll hold the funds and I'll dish them out. Well, he's dead and buried, isn't he? This is what you don't want. Absolutely dead and buried. And a chance, probably, for Miasma to try and get himself to double figures. Well, I don't even think there's any sort of combo on that he can, bang this 12 ball at. Not the 12 ball, it's the 11 ball. I mean, he could get crazy, and in fact, I think he could. I think the knuckle might be in the way, but he could get crazy and try and kick back the 11. That might be his only real option. And that looks really awkward, and you probably have to check this up big time to even try and get that cue ball to come back a line off that rail. It looks very unlikely. But he's not called anything yet, but I think that's the one option he has, is the kick on the 11. But he's decided he's calling a safety. Well, he's hit the ball and he's hit a rail, and Miasma has a shot on. So let's see what Miasma's made of, because we've not really had an opportunity yet. So there's at least two balls available for him. The one that he's aiming at the moment and just dropping onto the rail for the 11. Well, good afternoon to Bedhead. And even that shot, I think he's just gone. Well, did he play to go into the 15? We'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Well, if Miasma, well, again, you can't be missing pots like that. That is really bad. You cannot miss pots like that, Miasma. And that's what I'm saying. You've got to get set, I mean, the most obvious mistake there is getting lined up and not being lined up in the shot. That was appalling, that shot there. No other way to disguise it. That's like missing an open goal at football. And it may well be that final nail in his own coffin there. Self-inflicted damage. Well, he could just drop this 8 ball in, and he could just leave that little combo up the rail, or he could play the combo right now by the look of it. And that, I mean, this is sort of virtually unmissable. Well, again, fortunate that 11 ball was up in the rail, because again, it was pretty much dead in the water there where the cue ball finished. So the 7 ball looks as if it's the break ball. It's right at the back of the pack, though. But there should be enough room there to get a hit in the pack. I mean, you've also got that one, but that I think is too far at the top of the pack, the 13. It would be fine if you were playing it from the side. Now, did he miss that there? Oh no, that's a cue ball. Because you could play into the side and get a break in the pack that way. And well, it won't be, because he's now taking the 13. So here we go. It's going to be the 7. He really wants to get over here quite a bit. And again, that's way too straight. Far too straight. Total goes to 180. Yeah, well, at least he's got a ball out and he's got a shot. Well, it doesn't matter what your high run is. It's what you make in the tournament that matters. Well, acero. Is this going to be thin enough that he can get some sort of hit and something when he plays this 9-ball? I mean, it looks as if the cue ball just wants to bump into that 13 in the left-hand side at the back of the pack. It doesn't look as if it's going to do a great deal of damage. Now, has he spotted a 3-ball combo? Well, and that's very well done. Very well spotted. But look at the cue ball. And again, he's virtually dead in the water here. He's got a dodgy 3. Yeah, this is tricky. Hampered over a ball. And no, the 8-ball, I think, is far too awkward again as well. So this is his bailout shot if he can get it. And a good recovery. Well, he could play the 8-ball now and get a bump if he fancies it, because the 8-ball goes clean. He could just do a little bit of nudging. Watch the cue ball.
Where's the cue ball going?
And that's the danger of doing a little bit of nudging. He's run off the ball and scratched. And the visit ends in 13, total 182. And again, miasma, for goodness sake. You have got to get to double figures here, or there's going to be serious questions asked. Got to get to double figures. Well, what I would say, Coldest Pillow, is it doesn't matter whether you've played it a great deal, it's whether you're watching and absorbing any information that you're seeing here. Because it isn't about being flashy and just banging balls in. It's nothing to do with that at all. It's probably the opposite of that. You know, it's needing precision and the right pattern play that will do you a favour in this game. Stubb hasn't absorbed that information. He's just quite happy banging balls and trying to break balls out at the first opportunity, rather than trying to pick his way through them and that sort of stuff. There's times to make a move and times to stay away from it. Like this setup here, that looks like a combo into the corner. So do you need to nudge anything? No, you don't, because that's easily made, that combo. And that's what he's going to have to do now, because he's stone dead. He's stone dead onto the 14, and he's going to have to play the combo. Oh, now, what's he on? 182, so he needs another rack. 15 ball is absolutely plumb prime, and he should not be going near that ball. That is his break ball. That's done and dusted. It's all settled. Well, again, was that necessary to nudge that? I mean, he's fortunate he's got a shot. But he's got double figures at the moment. And can he avoid the 15? Yes, he can. Problem now is he's going to have to play a thin cut along the rail, I think, to stay at the table if he wants to keep his break ball there. but it might end up being Acero's break ball if he doesn't get that ball. It's a good cut, but the cue ball's not coming up into line. Well, there's another opportunity here, and that would be the bank on the 13. No, he's went for the cut. He might have been, well, maybe there wasn't enough room past that 15 now that I look at it. But anyway, acero has his break ball. Miasma has got 2 double figures, which is a good thing at the end of the day. And that'll be his high run for the match as well. Has this gone far enough? Barely. Yeah, that's the problem again with it being too straight. Not easy to generate enough power, but there is a shot. There is a dodgy cut on the 5. I think he's got room to get there. Now, again, there might be... it doesn't look like it. There's nothing in the pack, I don't think. So, 5 ball is the shot. Got a nudge. And that might be end of visit. That might be end of visit. I don't think there's anything else on there. Yes. Yes, there's a bank on. But as long as this pack sits like that, there's nothing else on. I mean, he can just bump that up the table and stick the cue ball in the pack, leave nothing on for his opponent, just like that. That's the way to do it. If your opponent's miles behind, then make sure you keep him miles behind by sticking him on them. Well, we have just gone past the hour. It is now 12:31 p.m. here in Bonnie, Scotland, and it is Bonnie. It's a nice day here today. We're going to have a couple of days nice weather. Well, we've had a couple of days as well this week. It's been dry, and then of course it's to go downhill as we go through the weekend. Back to normality. Atlantic weather systems coming in. The usual rain that we're well used to up here. And meanwhile, Acero at the table and looking to complete the deal on this match. That's a clever little combo. Obviously, that ball didn't go. No, it was a missed call. Was he playing it into? I thought he was playing the combo. I was assuming that the ball didn't go into the corner pocket and he was playing the little cut combo there, but clearly he wasn't. He had called it into this corner and he actually clipped the ball, so it certainly must have been tight. Well, Miasma can be aggressive all he wants here. He should be smacking that 2 ball or that 10 and just bringing open the balls and see if he can get a few more consolation shots. But he also has a target. He has a high run in straight pool of 27, and that's one target he should be aiming for to try and better that. Well, there is nothing on the table that needs touching. They just need picking off. Again, they just have to be done in the correct order to open up these 2. You need to get rid of that 1 ball, really. I mean, you can get to the 2 of those balls from up here, but if you're working down this side, you've got that 14 to get rid of as well, because these are blocking balls. They're blocking the path of another ball to the sort of probably favoured pocket. And that's now created an issue. Right where the 11 ball is a break ball, so now the 2 ball is a potential break ball. But one of them is going to have to go. Well, I didn't switch on Discord today because my assumption was that Steve would still be in his bed at this time of day. It's sort of just barely by 6 a.m. his side of the Atlantic. I think might be 7 a.m. because their clocks have gone forward and ours hasn't. So the assumption would be he would still be at breakfast. Is that going to get there? Yes, it just gets there. Well, there's probably going to be a nudge here regardless of what Miasma does. And he's got the nudge. Can certainly cut the 12, no problem. Bound to be on the 6. And you've got to cut this far enough. And that's well done. So now, something has to go here. You can easily do that from the 6 ball. But you've also got that ball at the back of the pack. So there's still potentially 3 break balls here. It's all down to Miasma's train of thought. Well, that's good enough to get rid of the 2. So now the 11 is the favoured ball. And this is no good because you're stuck to the rail and you have to then avoid hitting the 11. And I think he can. But he's got to go far enough. It's got to come far enough, this cue ball. And that's way too short. Way too short. He should have been there at least. But this is going to be his last shot if he doesn't get a pot on this 11. And it will be hasta la vista time. Acero needs 15 balls. Miasma gets his high run for the match, a high run of 12. And Acero, I think for the second time or third time, looking to finish this match off. What time do you eat breakfast? I had breakfast this morning at about, or was it just after 5? Because I don't think we'd started playing any cowboy at that time, so I went and had. In fact, now I can't remember what I had for breakfast. Oh no, I do know what I had for breakfast. I had a sourdough bap with sausages and brown sauce. That's what I had, and a cup of coffee. That's what I had for breakfast. And then I didn't want a big lunch, so I had some corned beef, so I had that and toast, 2 slices of toast and a cup of coffee at lunchtime. So I haven't had anything heavy to eat so far. And I don't know what I'm having for my dinner, but I'll certainly have to have my dinner before this next match is due to start. Veggie sausages. Yeah. Right, so Acero is 10 away, and we will be done for this session. And all the balls are there that he needs. All these remaining balls will give him the victory. And obviously a very, very comfortable victory. Especially when he put the high run for the tournament together, which now stands at 130. What is it with all this rabbit food you people are eating? Next thing you'll be telling me you like celery and dipping it into bloody cream cheese and all that kind of crap. Moves on to 98. So after an hour and 10 minutes, and this is probably going to be one of the fastest matches in the tournament. 1 hour and 10 minutes. Acero has this ball to take him through as defending champion to round 2. And there we go. Job done. And pretty classy with that start they had. Won the lag. Put miasma into break. And first visit of the day, a run of 130. And that now gives him the lead in the tournament for the high run. And that now also stands as his own personal high run in straight pull in VP4. So now we've got the 4 remaining matches on the schedule. The match with Fast Eddie and Miskin. I'm intended to do that this afternoon at 5 p.m. GMT. That would be 1 p.m. Eastern, I think, because the clocks have gone forward in the States. And there's a match with Aussie Mick and Polka Bouter. I won't be there for that. Viking and Laser, I won't be there for that. And I won't be there for Shibo and Simon because that's starting too late for me. So those are the remaining matches. Hope you can join us later on today. Hopefully we will have a match. Miskin did show up in the 10-ball tournament, so no reason why he shouldn't show up here. And I've got no idea how Miskin plays straight pull, but I'm pretty certain we'll get a good judgment of it if the match does go ahead. So Fast Eddie's going to get into it, probably favourite, but you never know. So hope you enjoyed it. Well done to Acero. He's now gone to bed. It's well late his time. And good luck in that one, lost side miasma. So till later on, we will see you then, and I will bid you good day. If I can find a way to bloody hit these buttons, because my shortcut keys aren't working.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.